So to the average person who might just be looking at this screen and seeing 8 coins on the table, you might think, 8 silver coins, lovely jubbly, what a fantastic video we have in store today. But 4 of these coins are not silver. They're the Cupronickel error coins, direct via Chards anyway, from the Royal Mint. Found by Chards, there's a link to their video down in the description. These 4 coins over here, they ain't silver. They're underweight, they're 28 grams, they're made of cupronickel. How the Royal Mint made that mistake, I don't know, but they have owned up to making that mistake. Pretty serious. So we've got our hands on them. I've bought some, and we're going to see what they're like, how they compare, how to check whether yours are genuine, and just talk a little bit about the whole situation, because it's been a right old time for the Royal Mint. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Welcome to our backyard. The beautiful sounds of spring. We are going to do an unboxing and talk about the Royal Mint and those Britannias, the not so silver Britannias. So for perhaps those who don't know, I recently visited Chards up in Blackpool, and they made me aware of some very interesting coins that they'd received from the Royal Mint. Now there is a full video that they have done talking about this situation, and we also did a very small video, which in retrospect I probably shouldn't have published quite as quickly as I did, but I did publish a video showing these and then quickly retracted them because they are not silver, they are cupronickel. Oh, we've even got some mints. Are these mint errors as well? Maybe, maybe not. Now I'm just going to check there's no invoice or anything. Nope, not in there. Maybe they preempted the fact that I might be doing an unboxing. So, mint error Britannias. They are cupronickel. So big deal. This was massive, massive news. Honestly, still is massive news. But the Royal Mint, of all places, have sort of neatly swept it under a rug with a couple of statements that I've published here on the channel, and they put it down to a isolated, I forget the exact wording, it was like an isolated incident within their production facility. They can't guarantee though, in the wording of their answer, they can't guarantee that no more got out there. I haven't heard of anyone else finding any of these out in circulation, but the scary thing was that a sovereign mint, the Royal Mint of all places, managed to put the wrong blanks into the machine that makes the silver Britannias, and we ended up with cupronickel Britannias. So not even a single tiny piece of silver content within. And that's really scary, because that's from a mint in a sealed product. And you can see out here on the table, there is a visual difference between them. But if I'm going to be completely brutally honest with you, if I was standing from a far away position right now, I'd just tell you that there's 8 silver coins on the table. But 4 of them aren't. Not even remotely silver. Now, the ironic thing here is, of course, that these coins are worth considerably more as mint error varieties, especially now that the Royal Mint has confirmed that there are only 209 of these in existence. They did actually find more, interestingly, they said, but they have destroyed those ones. Do excuse me a moment while I just I pop the Chards Mint. Oh, nice stick of rock. Oh, yes, please. I'm sorry for those who might fundamentally disagree with the way that you eat rock, but I'm a chewer when it comes to rock. Anyway, also, I can't suck on a mint for the entire variety of this video. So, errors, not silver. It's raised a lot of questions within the coin world, within coin production. I should probably not have eaten that mint when I'm filming a video, I've realised now. But anyway, very tasty mint. But it's raised a lot of questions now for keeping safe when buying, because these came in sealed products, you know, sealed tubes from the Royal Mint to Chards, and they only caught them by virtue of the fact that they were weighing all of their pieces. Now, the whole controversy has caused a big storm in the world, because there are plenty of people out there, consumers and businesses alike, that are now, rightly so, a little bit sceptical about whether or not the silver Britannias they've got in tubes are in fact real and genuine. What I will say is that I do whilst I don't think we'll ever get a full accounting and answer from the Royal Mint, I think what we've been told is all we're going to be told. I don't think there'll be anything else. They'll just brush it off like it's never happened now. But I don't think we're ever going to really truly find out. And I don't really want to either just go into wild speculation, because that could border on sort of the defamatory side of things. So I'm not going to go into any wild speculation. The fact of the matter is they have admitted that the wrong blanks got into the machine. How? I don't think we'll ever know. And those were put into sealed products. How they got out of the facility, I don't think we'll ever know. But they admitted that their checks and balances and quality control processes weren't up to scratch, but now they are. Do I think that there's thousands, tens of thousands of these out there? Do I think that every single person under the planet needs to go and check every single sealed tube? No, but I also do think that there is a good level of responsibility that's required from people to know that what they're buying is real and test. So test but verify. That's the message that's come out of this, which is a really good message. Now look, I have had a torrid past and history with the Royal Mint, so I'm not going to just sit here and bash them. I don't think this should have happened, but it has happened. It's made some really interesting mint error coins for history. I mean, really, at a glance, you would not know that these are not silver. You'd have to really have a look at them. So I'm going to show you how you can check whether or not you've got any of these and whether you should be concerned. And also some good practice tips for really unboxing stuff when you're buying from anywhere, whether it be a big bullion dealer, the Royal Mint directly. They've made mistakes with other customers sending silver coins out instead of gold coins out. So I think it's really important. It's good practice. You should get into the habit of it. Charles did it. Charles found massive errors, massive fakes. Really worth doing. So filming unboxings is a really good thing. You don't have to be a YouTuber with 100,000 YouTube subscribers to do that. All you need to do is just turn on your phone, your camera, prop it up somewhere and unbox it, because that's one of the surefire things to have evidence of, to say, well, what has come out of the package is these coins. This is what I have had. And that's really important if you have a problem with these coins and you need to go back to the retailer and say, hey, you've missed a coin, or you've got a coin that's not right, or this coin, hey, look, this is a copper nickel silver Britannia. I've said it there already, copper nickel silver Britannia. You can see them side by side. There is a difference in the colour and the hue of them. There's also difference in weight. We'll go into that in a moment. So unboxing videos, definitely a thing. You don't have to publish them. Just have them as a record. If there's a problem, you've got it. If it's not, you delete the footage. Job done. Easy. Next thing is when you're testing your silver, there are plenty of different ways that you can test silver. The one thing that I will mention is the Sigmas, so Trusty Metrics, the UK's exclusive supplier of them. There's a link in the description box below to their website. They have the best machines on the planet for home testers. Like XRF machines are good, they have their place, but also these machines are worth their weight in gold and silver now apparently as well. So if we have here a silver setting, we've got silver, we're going to come up to precious metal content, 1 ounce, done, measure. And we'll do more videos on these copper nickels in due course. Which is it? Ah, there it is. See, I'm not even, that was genuine. I just had to take a double look to see which one it was, because I've seen so many coins in my time that you can see how easy that is. Right, so 1 ounce silver Britannia, supposedly. Let's pop it on here and see. Immediately, way off to the right in the red, that ain't a silver Britannia. And we put the real silver Britannia on and we can see the difference right there in the middle in the green. Now these pieces of kit are quite expensive. This one is the Pro, there is the Investor model, there is the original model. All of those models, regardless of the type and size and expense of them, will have caught this coin instantly. If you put it on there, you can just see instantly the difference. That is all the way off to the right in the red with massive numbers. That is all the way beautifully in the green with nice low numbers. Easy peasy. There's also another way that you can do a sort of secondary test on this as well, which is a dimensions test, super important. You click here, you go round, dimensions, and then this will tell us that if this is a 909 fine silver coin with the weight that we've said, 1 ounce, it should fit in between these lines, and this one's well over on that green line on the left side, so not at all correct. Now, the other thing to say about these coins is that they weigh less, and that's because the wrong planchets were used in the minting process. So these would have been the planchets for silver crown coins, because they come in weighing at 28.2-ish grams. Now, the interesting thing is that the crown planchets are supposed to be 28.28 grams, so whether or not these are actually incorrect planchets in the first place, underweight, I don't know. It's, again, speculation, not an easy thing to do, but this weighs 28.8 because, of course, it's the same as the silver one, but it is less dense. And here you can see the Silver Britannia 31.26. You can pick up these pretty accurate scales from Amazon, from eBay, wherever you can. They're pretty cheap. This set is like $5.99. It'll do it really well. Get it down to 0.01 grams. These are not like calibrated for trading standards, for like selling things by weight, but they're a really good barometer for weight and for weighing things. The next thing I want to talk about is like security features, and this is one of the things that really concerns me about this particular area. You can see side by side here the copper nickel versus the silver version here. So the sort of big selling point of the Britannia coin, I'm going to put the error one down for a second, have a look at the real Britannia, is the security features. It is meant to be the world's most secure coin, with this trident hologram into a padlock down here in this little circle. We've got the wave patterns in the background. We've got micro text all around the outside of the coin. Hopefully the camera's picking that up for you. And we've got this like Fibonacci sequence in the background of the King Charles side. So it's an incredibly hard coin to counterfeit. I don't personally remember ever seeing one that has been counterfeited that looks anywhere near semblance to good. You do find quite a lot of older coins that are counterfeit, so you see a lot of the older 2011s and beyond into the past. We've got the 2007 one here as well. These are a lot easier for the counterfeiters to make copies of, so be aware of those. But the modern one's perfect. But this is the scary thing, because the Royal Mint made such a boo-boo, put the wrong blanks in, this is formatively identical to a regular silver Britannia, with the exception of a slight discoloration and its weight. So you can see here the security features are all on here because, of course, they've used the exact same die to make it. It's gone through the exact same process of production. Now, the only difference that I can really see here is that the reeded edge of this coin is slightly dulled compared with the silver. It's not as sharp. And part of the reason for that, I think, is that the silver, the pure silver, is very malleable. Pure silver is incredibly soft. If I was to drop this or take a hammer to it, I would dent it quite easily and quickly. Not the same for this. This is copper nickel. It's the same type of metal that you would have in your circulation coins. So they're designed to be a lot more durable, and therefore it's a lot more hard wearing. So I think when it was in the press, I don't think there was quite enough force to really get as much definition on the rim of it. So that's the only formative difference in this coin to another, but it is a pretty special error. So is there a requirement, a worry for everyone to rush out and to check every single Britannia that you've ever bought from the Royal Mint? I would argue no. But also, it's really important to have peace of mind, so make sure that what you've got is actually genuine. Buy from reputable sources, buy from reputable dealers. The big dealers, like there's been a shake-up in this industry, because I think a lot of dealers, smaller time dealers, they perhaps have gone, oh goodness, and if you hear that in the background, that's my dog running at me. You know, some of these smaller time bedroom bullion dealers might be like, oh God, I didn't check all my boxes. Fingers crossed, eh? Whereas the big dealers, they do this day in, day out. They get literally millions of pounds worth of gold and silver come in, and mistakes happen on any production line. You know, quantities might happen, mistakes might happen on that. So the fact that none others have been found, I think, is a really good sign, because I think a lot of these bullion dealers, the big ones, will have found them already if they were in circulation. So you know, buy from reputable places is, I guess, part of the message here. But if you are buying from anywhere, trust but verify. And now the same can be said for even the Royal Mint. And I think that can also be said to all different mints around the world. You know, we take a lot for granted when it comes to sealed products, and there is a market for sealed products. People like to have a mint sealed product. It's the reason it's called mint sealed. But ultimately, I think it's actually not that important to be mint sealed. It's more important for it to be genuine. Now, as I said, the ironic nature of this is that these coins here are worth more as error coins than the silver versions of them. And of course, as copper and nickel coins, their metal value is about 25 pence, I think somebody calculated at. But you know, these are, I think Chards are selling them at £195 raw and £245 for a graded version. I've got two for myself, one for each of my kids when I'm dead and gone, and then there's two more here that are going to be winging their way off to International Stacker in America, who helped break the news story. And I also just want to talk very briefly at the back end of the video about the news story. So there was a lot of very interesting discussion about my involvement in the story, I put a video out, a little short, because I'd filmed with them all, and I'd done a big video which we haven't published. I don't know whether I certainly can't publish what I said in that video because I realised I went into pretty wild, rampant speculation because of my torrid past with the Royal Mint, so I can't possibly publish it. But I could probably publish the footage with new audio recorded over it. But I was filming with like 5,000 silver Britannias, and then the team at Chards brought up these ones and just handed them to me. So I filmed with them and I did a YouTube short and I published it, and it was one of those really weird ones where I was like, oh yeah, the new 2026 Britannias, they're really cool. And then in the last 10 seconds of the video, but make sure you check them because some of them aren't silver. It was a pretty big bombshell to drop. Anyway, international stacker, bless his heart, bless his soul, incredible guy, wonderful friend of the channel. Go and check him out. Sub to him. Now, go. He wants 100,000 subs. He deserves 100,000 subs. He made it go viral on Twitter. I actually retracted my video and took it away. And a lot of people then were like, oh my God, Backyard Bullion, have you been ceased and desisted from the Royal Mint? No, nothing happened. Literally nothing happened. The Royal Mint got back to me with a comment for the story that I was going to run. But then I was like, it's not my story to tell. Chards have got them. And they're going to do a video on it. And I don't want to do a video on it. I don't really want to do another video about moaning about the Royal Mint. So I didn't. And I took it away. I was like, the news is out there. I can't put that genie back in the bottle, but I can just like not be involved with it anymore. So that's what I did. But of course, by doing that, it made it even worse because everyone was like, oh my God, you've been ceased and desisted from the Royal Mint. Are you being sued? No, I'm not. In fact, the Royal Mint and I are on not horrendous terms. I was talking with the press office contact I have there about this situation. They were very forthcoming. They got back to me with even further information after that initial content, which I have published on the channel. And I don't know, maybe one day we'll even be able to go to the Royal Mint again and see them and maybe talk with someone. Who knows? We'll see. I'm not going to hold my breath on that. But I don't know. It's just, the whole premise for me is about making the Royal Mint better and getting the news out there and being a journalist. And there's a lot to learn from my side of being a journalist. I'm not a professional journalist. So I think it's a fascinating situation, a really interesting time, and really interesting pieces of coin history. I do like mint errors. I think it's quite cool. These are pretty serious when it comes to mint errors. Don't get me wrong, let me not belittle the situation, but should you be worried about all of them? No. Should you check? Yes. But it is what it is. All right, there we have the Cupra Nickel Silver Britannias. I'm sure I'll be doing some more videos on them in the not too distant future. The plans for me is to get my two off for grading. Excuse me. And I'll probably do a few videos before we get them off to grading, but then it'll be like 3-4 months until they're back. But we'll do some more stuff on that in due course. Big shout out once again to International Stacker. Links in the description box below. Big shout out to Trusty Metrics for their Sigma machines. Really great company, really great machines. We'll be doing more on them in due course, but a really good way of testing your silver. And also a big shout out to the team at Chards, who of course found these errors, published their findings, sorted everything out, and are now retailing them. I don't have a purchase link at the time of filming. If there is one, I'll let you know, but otherwise, get in touch with them if you want to try and buy one. That's it from me. We'll see you on the next video. Cool kids! Oh, what do we say? Cupra Nickel Britannias. Shock horror. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next video. As always, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.